Well, hello YouTube, this is Chuck, and it's Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon. It's a little bit steamy out here. I opened up the van, let the air blow through it. But I haven't come back to you yet with any kind of an update on the second night on the trip up at Hilltop. And I got sidetracked with working on Wayne's Jeep and some other stuff, and so but there's been a couple other developments as well. So let me try to bring you up to date. The second night we were up there was nothing like the first night at all. The whole vibe was different. And Kevin showed up, and he had his brother visiting him from out of town. And Kevin's brother is his older brother, and he's not necessarily on board with everything we're doing, but but we had a nice visit, and we kind of got sidetracked on the visit part of that. And we did see a little bit of movement over where we had the sighting the night before, but nothing. It was a little darker by that time, and we couldn't really tell what was going on, and so we could nothing we could really hang our hat on. And I believe we did have the ones came over around us, but I can say it was a different thing. I don't know if it was because of Kevin's brother being there or what the deal was, but for some reason or other, we just didn't have the level of activity. And they decided to head back. They weren't equipped to stay overnight, so they stayed until about 9 o'clock-ish. And then they were going to drive back home, cross through the back way and dirt road. And that was quite an adventure, I'm sure. And they made it home safely, but anyway, make a long story short, Paul had gone to bed. He wasn't feeling real well, and so Chris and I sat out, and we just didn't get that level of activity. So we went to bed about 10 o'clock. Well, the next morning, I shot that little segment of the video about the tree falling and all that kind of stuff, and after that happened, and we decided we'd kind of been tossing back and forth the idea. Chris had something come up at home, and Paul wasn't feeling well, and my wife had left me a text that she was having some pretty serious back pain, and she was wondering whether she was going to end up having to go to the ER. But as the morning went on, we went down to the normal phone call point, and we made our phone calls as necessary. And by about noon, everything seemed to be, everybody was kind of mellowed out, and everything doing okay. And we kind of decided that we'd go ahead and stay another night. And the weather was better because we'd gotten quite a bit of rain the first 2 days, and I was set up better than the rest of them, of course, with the van. But even at that, my skylight leaked a little bit when it rained real hard. I got to get back up there and fix that. I'm not sure exactly what caused it. Probably the tape ripped again. That's kind of what happens. It vibrates and the tape rips. But anyway, so we decided that we would stay another night. So it was I don't know, about noon 30, something like that, and I decided to lay down and take a little nap. And I did for about an hour. Well, when I woke up, I looked, and Paul and Chris were both packing up to leave. That was a total change from what we decided about an hour previous. Paul was feeling terrible. He absolutely looked bad. He felt bad. We actually had to help him take his tent down and put his truck together, and Chris got he was all packed up and ready to go, and so they were both going to head out. And so I figured, I was worried about my wife, so I figured, well, if they're going to go, I guess I'll go too. And so we all packed up and we all left. Well, I got down to where I had cell signal, and I got a text from my wife that she'd sent earlier that, of course, didn't go through, and I got it, and it basically said, I think you need to come home. And I was already en route, so I called her and told her I'm on my way. Well, so we were worried about Paul, and I followed him all the way back to town. When he made the turn to head down toward Metro Phoenix, toward where he lives, I followed him that far, and he seemed like he made it that far, and he said he was feeling a little bit better. But there was thinking back on it, and I didn't register initially, but thinking back on it, it was like it was like there was a reason they wanted us to leave. And so we did leave. And got back home, and the other thing that's happened is that you know, I put up a few pictures that have been sent. Some of the other people have sent me from around the country, and they've sent me the photos, and I've put them up, and I know it's popular, and a lot of you like to see that kind of stuff. But I got the distinct impression, and Kevin did too, that our Sasquatch friends did not want me to do that. They apparently, the ones back where these guys live, and we're talking about Alabama Alan, my friend from Western North Carolina, they both been getting pictures. And ironically, the pictures they send me, when they come out on my end, they're all blurry. When they send them, they claim they're very clear. But when I get them, they're blurry. Well, that's a signal, I think. I think that somehow the Sasquatch people are messing with the pictures. And so the stuff, I haven't really got hardly anything that's really good enough to use. And so I think that's a message. I think they're telling me that they don't want me to do that anymore. Now, they haven't come right out and told me that, and I've asked them to. I've asked them if they can give me a clear indication. They really haven't. They've talked a little bit more to Kevin than they have to me. But I made a promise a long time ago that I would never try to take their picture, and of course I haven't been trying to take their picture, but I have been posting pictures that other people have taken. And so maybe maybe in their mind that was crossing the line. Now, we had, as I said, we had a very, very good night up there the first night, an absolutely epic night the first night. The second night, we didn't have hardly anything happen. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to back off a little bit on showing you pictures. If I get something particularly good, I'll tell you about it, or if I get an adventure pretty good from either one of them, I'll tell you about it. And I've been in contact with them, not every day, but pretty much every day. And my friend from Western North Carolina, the group that's there, they've actually let him see them in full solid form several times. And he's had some, he's asked him about pictures, and he's trying to ask them and get them to say whether or not it's okay for me to publish stuff. But the ones on this end seem like they're not real happy about that. And of course, I don't want to violate their trust in any way. I don't want to break my promise. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take a little bit of back off a little bit from the pictures. And it doesn't mean I won't show you something, but it means I probably won't show you any pictures of cloaked ones or the ones that the guys have sent me. They're both still having the same kind of activity. I've been in contact with both of them, but there's really something going on there, and I'm hoping that they'll give me a little more guidance in what they have as far as what they want me to do and not do. But for the time being, I'm going to back off a little bit on that. So I hope you're not all disappointed, because I know I've showed you some dynamite stuff lately. But there's something going on there, and I need to figure out what it is. So I guess that's my update for right now. It's a short one. Didn't have a whole lot to report. Al's still having the activity that he's had, and my friend from Western North Carolina has been having the activity that he's had. And I also talked by phone with my friend from Utah this morning, and he's continuing to do what he does, and he's been getting a little bit of activity, but no major breakthroughs. And so we're all working through that. I'm also in contact with some other folks, a guy from California, and it's all just continuing to go on. The interview on the Flash of Beauty they did a while back has hit 75,000 views, and so that's still moving along. And that's my update for right now. I don't want to ramble. I guess I'm rambling a little bit. So I guess that's all for now in this video. And as I always tell you, take care of each other, love each other. We're still trying to sort out what's really happening here, and it's almost like there's a question marks hanging in the air, and I'm trying to figure out what the answers to them are. And the quicker I can find that out, the quicker I can figure out what direction I need to go on this. So I guess that's all for right now, and until I talk to you again, I'll just tell you, peace out.